It is not by coincidence. This is a container for earth angels, truth seekers, those who are seeking their soul core frequency this lifetime. Let's take a deep breath together. And in this alignment, welcome in Earth Angel Tribe. I am Shani Zamboto, your number one oracle here on YouTube. And we're going to be diving right into a very beautiful topic of discussion that I have been guided to speak on. Let's some energy for that. We may additionally add in some oracle or tarot messages, just depending on how the energy is flowing, okay? I want to thank our ancestors, our highest selves, our most highest creator, our presence for bringing us here in this moment to understand what we will be talking about today, which is a timeless message about my experiences with the vibrations. I've always heard about how there's a frequency and everything vibrates. I think the first time I ever heard it was when I was watching something with Billy Carson on it, and he was saying everything vibrates. A drop of water vibrates. This little small things that he was saying, even him mentioning how, in a sense, that I won't say that time collapses, because it's not that time collapses, but when you leave out of your home and head to the next place, the location that you just left is like out of your field of view, out of your field of existence, you know? Your energy no longer resides there. It's no longer real. I just want to learn more about the holographic universe, which I heard that there's a book on it. So I'm going to look more into that. But yes, so my experience with vibrations, I want to say for me, of course, we all come from such a very deep place of vibrational frequencies and everything. You know, especially being from New Orleans, our food has a vibration. Our music, the way we dance as divine feminines from specifically New Orleans has a vibration. And class coming up soon about that. But definitely want to dive into understanding more about who we are as supernatural beings. There's a lot of things that I have been experiencing that I've never seen in movies. I have not read in books. No one in my family has talked to me about it. The people who I experience it with don't experience it with any other person besides me, vice versa in certain instances. And I just feel like so much is still so hidden, so to be uncovered, right? But yes, big ups to those of you who will be stopping in, dropping in for a moment. No set time on how long I'm gonna be in. I just want to make sure that I can get this message out to you in the most truth, the most fullness of what I have to express through orating. Okay. One day I was in Minnesota about 2 years ago, and I was laying on my bed. But I have vertical shutters, like window shutters that look like this. A whole bunch of these stuck together. Y'all know the little school. You can turn them straight, turn them back flat to the left or right, slide them back, all that. You can get them in like patio long style, window short style. This window is like half a patio so whatever. You get it. Doesn't really matter to explain that. But needless to say, I don't have the blinds that go horizontally. So I'm laying back on my bed and I've tapped into a few things. I've started my awakening. I've had a few, dives into initiations of different aspects of the self, dark night, shadows, everything, and was called to look at a patterning that was stretching across my room. And I'm like, what? Where is that coming from in my room? My first thought was, where is it coming from in my room? Because I'm laying on my bed, kind of like, on my back. So, things can look a little weird if you're not laying straight or, in a certain way. And I definitely don't always lay straight on my bed. I'm a human, come on. So, I went ahead and set up, and I'm like, no, but I'm still seeing it. And it didn't change. So it's like, even though I set up, you know how, like, if you sit up and you're looking at the blinds from a different way, they might go, adjust with the room. No, nothing adjusted. The vibrational patterning stayed there. And I was just like, it looked like it was like vibrating, like buzzing a little bit. And but I couldn't hear like a sound. I just kind of felt, yeah, I felt a buzz, almost like a communication, you know. But I don't know what I chalked it up to that day, to be honest. But I know that it was odd because of how my windows were going vertically and how what I was seeing expansively stretched across my room. How sometimes it will, depending on where the shadows and sun is and all that stuff across your house and time of the day, um, of how the patterning will look, right? So, needless to say, it was in that because it comes to find and see that I experience it so much more now that I see it time 10 some days. Like, as I've been on a leave from work for about, I'll say going into my third week starting tomorrow, um, it feels like, you know, it's gotten stronger. Give me one quick moment, then. All right. Yes, sometimes when I'm doing these lives, I have like small emergency. I'm in mommy and I try to squeeze these messages in and they still find a reason to call mama. But yes, that's just fine. I'm sure you guys understand and I appreciate your patience here. So, I started noticing that I wasn't only seeing it in Minnesota. I see it here in Denver. I've seen it in New Orleans, and I've seen it in different sizes. Sometimes it can be the size of this and very elongated, stretched out. It's always vertical though. It's always horizontal though. It's never vertical. And it almost seems like it's like a particular like wavelength patterning as well. Okay. So it's like seeing it vibrate and it's being like a wavelength, but it's like subtle. It's very subtle, but it stays for however long it wants to stay. I can't, drink it away, as in like drink water. I can't blink it away. Um, you know, I can't pray it away. Any of it, none of it. Okay, let's see if we can get this message out. So, I want to bring forward how deeply and in tune we can be in our environments, how sacred spaces and vibrational they can feel when we've not energetically. Well, it is energetically, but it is another word. I want to say interject our energy into our atmosphere energetically. Okay, I believe that I see this as a energetic thing. Um, what I say, I always see it only at home. I see other things outside, but mostly this vibrational patterning I see at home. And I used to see it when I get off from working a 10-hour shift, when I'm just waking up from nights of sleep. Um, there was no particular time, but it felt like it was calling me to tune in more deeply to what is happening around me consciously. Um, we're tapping into like a more super conscious energy. Anything else? And most recently, because I wanted to understand it more deeply, I was sitting on my bed and my room was dimly lit. And I feel like if I have a bathroom connected to my room, so I'll like turn on the light sometime and like bring the door in close to a slit so that there's a sliver of light coming into my room, just in general. Because like I said, I see this at night, during the day, and I was in pitch blackness that I've noticed because I'm not usually in pitch black in my house. But yeah, no matter the time of day. or night. So just sensing deeply here what more needs to be shared. Mhm. I remember the first thing that I noticed in Minnesota. It was right before I saw these that I understand the vibrational patterning. I saw what looked to be like a blur. I opened the like patio door to look out, and there was a blur that was like really far off in the distance, but it looked like this, right? Not brown, but like this side, right? But imagine if you're standing at your front door and you look across to your neighbors, not too far away, but across, not next door, and you're like, why does it look like there's a blur on their house? So that was a thing as well. And I've seen a lot of interesting things in the atmosphere. You know, the blur was even very like, even though it was there, the outline of it seemed like iridescent, like how a spill will look on the ground, you know, of oil. And the other way that it looked, as I see it now, it looked like a shiny outer lining. Okay. So, but silvery, yeah, we'll go this too. Anyhow, so one day I was on my bed and I was saying I just started going back to that side a little bit. And I was like, I want to play around with this patterning a little bit. You know, it's been showing itself to me. I wonder what it really wants to say. I can't find anything about it online. And I don't talk about it with a lot of people. So I'm hoping those of you who this video comes across or who happens to, see the live, join the live, or those who truly resonate, I'm here to really know who our tribe is. It's not my tribe, it's our tribe. And we deserve to be able to connect this lifetime so deeply, so intimately, to bring each other into um, more self development modalities, um, deeper aspects of themselves. We deserve it. So I just really, really will be touched and grateful to know that those who are subscribing to my container are those who feel really guided by not only the earth angel aspect of who we or yourself or those around you maybe as earth angels as you begin to resonate. Additionally, about communing and sharing of the journey because one day I want to do a retreat where I can meet with everyone, dive into these meditations that have taken me so deep into myself that I can literally feel myself getting teary about it because it helped me to realize who I am as a spiritual being, as a soul, as a human being as well. Okay, as a chosen one, as an earth angel, as a goddess, as a mother, like, and still ongoing. Like the learning never stops. I am a student for life of all things of the universe, as well as a teacher who says you can be so many things at once, you know? So look at me. So getting back to the story, I was sitting on my bed and this bed right behind me. And I was like, okay, there's the pattern again. I want to see if I can not only like touch it, like kind of like play with it a little bit, put it through my hands, or if it just, if it's just kind of like passing through a wall, like you just go. Or I also wanted to see other objects because typically I'm just looking out into what I would call the atmosphere of my room. I'm not typically looking at something particularly when I see it. I can even see it if I'm watching a TV show and it just comes out of nowhere, and I'm not meaning across the TV screen. It can come from the top of the, way above the TV, feet above it, all the way down past the bottom of the TV, where you know, like it's not from the TV, you know. So, and I've been called to speak about this, but also hesitant because of, you know, different emotions that I've had about what I've been experiencing as I go along this journey of being open to share things about my life with the collective. So I thank you for your presence and understanding. So as I'm sitting there getting into looking at my skin, so when I did the skin part, when I put my hand through it, it just kind of plastered itself there, like, okay, you're part of this particular vibration and atmospheric experience, right? But then I picked up, is it over there? Oh, it's up there right now. I'm not gonna go get something else. um, I picked up my remote, which I would say was about, half the size of this, but the same pretty much width. And I could see that out, in my room it was really thick, like this, but the patterning for the remote was like stacking cards together, or like putting this even sideways, like going from this thickness to this on such a small item. So imagine if this was the remote. I'm holding a remote and I'm like, ooh, let me see what this looks like. And I just start seeing little vibrational patterns that are this thin. Light, darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker, lighter, darker, but extremely small. When I'm used to seeing them like this size or, bigger. Stretched across the room. So there's something that I wanted to share here. That has not always been a thing for me. That's how I know I'm not crazy or going through some strange psychotic interference. It's a new part of what I can see as I journey through this body as an electric, as a spiritual, as a soulful being. So I'm grateful for the gift to see more. The other thing that I can see, please like, share, subscribe if this resonates for you, please. I want to understand what's happening more and hear about your experiences by way of comments, emails. I'll begin to leave my email and more information to contact me because I'm going to open up a space for doing erotic tarot message readings for you all. We do a stand store because I've been wanting to do stand lately, so that maybe some of you may be interested in that. But yes, I was able to see different frequency patterning through different objects, and I was like, wow, universe, you are showing me how everything truly vibrates. I did not know it to be true. Okay. I had not experienced it as of yet for myself. But I did come to a place as of now, as of 2, possibly 3 now years ago, where I was brought into this additional seeing. I'm hearing like a advanced seer, okay? It's more than a prophetic visioning. I can see cosmic patterning. And it doesn't stop there. There's a few things I've been guided to see, but I'm going to leave the video here. It's gotten a bit longer than I've expected, and definitely move into some additional messages, okay? I appreciate your presence, and thank you again for being here. Mwah. Nishani Zamboto, like, share, subscribe if this resonates.